Sun Chung has a rare condition that causes fish-like scales to grow all over his body.
This is one of the most extreme cases I've seen in my entire career. Think I'm a monster.
Peyton Thornton has a rare condition that causes his skin to fall off at the slightest touch.
It's going to be a life just full of pain.
Now, their search for a cure will take them on the toughest journey of their lives. But will their hopes of a normal life come at the ultimate price?
I'm afraid I won't be able to walk.
I know there's a chance that he may not come home with me.
90% of his body is affected. That's incredible.
When I strike, we look at the doctors for what they can. If diagnosis is a mystery.
Say cheese. Be still. You gotta stay still.
Last time with this long hair.
Are you ready to get up there on the chair? All right.
In Alabama, 5-year-old Peyton Thornton has an extraordinarily rare skin condition known as epidermolysis bullosa, or EB.
Okay, tell me what you want.
Red.
Red what?
Black.
Okay.
Peyton's skin blisters and tears off with the slightest touch.
Look at me. Mean look.
He's always wanted a mohawk. He'll wake up in the morning and his hair will be sticking up on his head, and he'll be so excited because he says he has a mohawk and he won't let me brush it.
I think you'll look like that guy on USC. Remember that time the guy cut down on USC and he had this red hair?
I think I do remember that.
Peyton's condition is caused when both parents carry a rare recessive gene.
Peyton, that is red.
It affects just 1 in 1 million births.
All right, now look, the finishing touches are on it. You ready to see it?
See it?
Yes.
Tell us what you think.
Oh, my.
What do you tell Miss Gina?
Thank you.
When Peyton was born, the first thing that I focused on was his foot. I could tell that he had no skin whatsoever on his right foot. And the nurse had took a blanket to dry him off. All the skin completely just peeled down, just in sheets. She said, your son has the most severe form of epidermolysis bullosa. And if he lives, it's going to be a life just full of pain.
You hanging on pretty good?
Peyton can't run, jump, or play sports like other children. The gentlest rubbing can tear the skin from his body, causing tremendous pain.
I tell people all the time we live in an EB prison.
We have to change this, Peyton. They're kind of nasty.
For protection, his parents wrap him in 4 layers of bandages. But even the seams in his clothing can still cause agonizing wounds.
Do you want to get it? Do you want to pull it?
There is no cure for EB.
Come on, be tough. All right.
Good job.
But a hospital in Minnesota is pioneering a radical procedure that could transform his life forever.
I try to think of what he'll look like with no bandages or even less bandages. As far as what it would mean to me, I really wouldn't even know how to describe it.
5,000 miles away from Peyton, in a small village in southern China, lives a young man who is also suffering from a rare skin disease. His entire body is covered in thick, dry scales. Locals call him Fish Boy.
Some people are so scared of the way I look that they scream and run away from me. They think I'm a monster. It makes me so miserable that sometimes I cry for hours.
22-year-old Sun Chung spends most days hiding away in shame.
When I'm fishing, I have no worries. There's nobody to comment on how I look or bully me.
From the day he was born, Sun Cheng's skin has been a mystery. His fingers never fully formed, and over time, the skin across his body has grown thicker.
It makes me itchy, then the skin cracks. Sometimes I can't even hold my chopsticks. It's painful, very painful.
Sun Cheng's parents have never sought medical help for his condition.
After his birth, we were advised to send him to a large hospital. I refused. I left it to fate whether he would live or die.
It looked as if his skin had been burned by boiled rice soup.
Even the village elders had seen nothing like it. I cried until my tears ran dry.
As the only child of poor farmers, he's now at an age when he could be taking on most of the work to support his family.
The only thing I can do is help with picking beans.
But his deformed hands and thick, tight skin mean that Sun Cheng struggles with anything other than light work.
Even though I'd like to, I just can't do the heavy work. My father does everything that I can't do. I feel so guilty that I can't help my parents. I'm useless.
Recently, the pain in Sun Cheng's hands has spread to other parts of his body. He's desperate to get help for his mysterious disease before it's too late.
I feel my feet getting more and more numb all the time. I'm afraid that in the future I won't be able to walk. I can't imagine that. I don't want to think about it.
You want to go over and see the dairy cows?
5-year-old Peyton Thornton has a 1 in a million skin condition called EB.
There you go. Come here, girl.
It's caused by a rare gene mutation that both his parents carry, but it's not passed on to every child.
Oh man, he got me in the eyeball.
Parker!
Older brother Parker is completely healthy.
You are something else. We try to let Peyton do most of the things that Parker likes to do, but you know, there are things he doesn't even want to do because it's like he knows if I do those things, that's gonna hurt me.
She just hogged it all up, didn't she? You want to get her some more?
Peyton's body is unable to produce the correct amount of a protein called collagen 7, which makes up the bonds called anchoring fibrils that hold the top and bottom layers of skin together. Without these bonds, he has nothing to stop his skin from tearing, producing raw, open wounds.
It's big boy time. Can you show me? I know it's tough.
To reduce the risk of infections that could poison his bloodstream, Peyton must have his wounds washed every 2 days.
When the bath water hits his open wounds, he screams at the top of his lungs.
Everybody has to do things that their kids don't like, but you know, it's no way to describe the extreme. I just wish there was something I could do.
Where do you want me to hold you at? Right here? Is that a good spot? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Can I go ahead and put a dressing on your back because I don't want it to stick? I'm sorry.
This agonizing process can last up to 6 hours.
People say, no, I don't see how you do it. I have to do it.
The most devastating aspect of EB is that it slowly kills its victims. repeated wounding of the skin can lead to an aggressive cancer called squamous cell carcinoma. Few EB sufferers live beyond their 20s.
Don't pull it out!
But thanks to new research, there is hope. Peyton's parents have enrolled him in a groundbreaking medical trial at the University of Minnesota. Dr. Jacob Tolar and his team are transplanting stem cells from the bone marrow of healthy donors into patients with EB.
For the first time in history, we showed that it is possible to take a cell population from a healthy individual, put it into the individual with epidermolysis bullosa, and at least partially correct the disease.
So far, 12 EB patients have received the bone marrow transplant. It's still early, but in most cases, the results are promising. For 6 years, Kerrick Boyd was trapped in his own body.
That was a good jump, huh?
Like Peyton, he was unable to play without his skin tearing as a result of EB. But 21 months ago, he had a stem cell transplant, and already the bandages are coming off.
You're doing good. Good job, Grandma.
Physically, he's better. He doesn't have the pain, the skin's healing, he doesn't get the injuries that he did before.
Life is better now because I can play more.
Now he's just like one of my other kids, and I treat him just like the rest now. It's nice.
Oh.
You're out for the count.
Oh yeah, this right here is like the body armor, ain't it, Pepe?
Peyton is next on the list to undergo this revolutionary treatment. Even though the bone marrow transplant is still experimental, the progress of patients like Kerrick gives hope that Peyton can be freed from the agony of EB.
That's what we get to look forward to. And we know that one day we'll be able to write about Peyton, talk about how he's out running in the front yard with his brother.
Man, you handling this like a champ tonight.
In southern China, Sun Chung is desperate to find treatment for the fish-like scales that cover his entire body.
I don't want this dark, horrific skin.
He's heard of a doctor 800 miles away in the city of Guangzhou who may be able to help. Sun Chung has sent him photographs of his mysterious condition.
His face is so horrifying. He'll be viewed by many people as a monster. Shenzhen is one of the most extreme cases I've seen in my entire career.
Dr. Zhang has invited Sun Chung to Guangzhou to try and offer a diagnosis. Although desperate for help, it's the following morning, and Sun Chung is preparing for his journey to the big city. He's trying to put his fears behind him.
I don't want to look like this. I want to get married one day, if possible.
But his mother is haunted by the memory of his previous search for a cure.
I pray to God that everything goes well and he comes home safely.
I'm hoping for a miracle. The way I see it, even if it doesn't work, I've got to try.
Sun Chung has traveled 800 miles from his remote village to the city of Guangzhou. He's hoping to find a cure for the thick, scaly skin that has blighted his life for 22 years.
I'm really looking forward to unraveling the mysteries of my disease.
But first, Dr. Zhang Shibao must try to identify the disease that has left Sun Chung branded Fish Boy.
你把帽子放下，把衣服略微揭开看一下。对，整个皮肤跟皮革一样。你可以拍拍这个耳朵看，这个很厚。
因为那个糊得太紧，我的眼睛都闭不起。
To make an accurate diagnosis, Dr. Zhang needs to take a biopsy, which will allow him to examine the structure of Sun Chung's skin. Before today, Sun Chung had never even met a doctor.
然后侧身躺，面朝我。
Now, a world away from his small village, he must undergo an invasive surgical procedure, and he's nervous.
因为你没有在医院里去过，所以你会感觉到有点奇怪。不要紧，几分钟就好了啊。
我这种皮肤它不好，因为
对。
我到时候在这里，你躺好，
你躺好，躺得自然。
会有一点点痛，有不舒服您就跟我讲话啊，但是不许动啊。
有点害怕。
I was a bit scared, but Dr. Zhang is trying to help me, and for that I'm very grateful.
Sun Chung has lived his entire life plagued by his mysterious condition. Now, the results of his biopsy will give him the answers he's always wanted.
你是一种比较特殊的，我们在临床上有一种叫板层状鱼鳞病，就属于基因的问题。
When Sun Chung's tormentors called him Fish Boy, they were closer to the truth than they knew.
这个字来自于希腊文，鱼鳞就是鱼皮的意思。
Lamellar ichthyosis causes dry skin that cracks and becomes easily infected. The body responds by rapidly creating a protective barrier of new skin cells, but a defect causes these new cells to build up, resulting in thick layers of dry skin that look like scales. But Dr. Zhang has some encouraging news.
同时，我们也治疗了一些和你的症状比较接近的病人，治了一些照片。这还有一个女孩子，啊，她看起来这些地方跟你有点像，但是她没你重。
一样，一样。
那这个也很像，真的很像啊，这是她以后的。
For all those people, the treatment worked really well. It's given me a lot of confidence.
But Sun Chung must undergo further medical tests before any treatment can be considered.
I couldn't give him the drugs. If he has any problem with his organs, the result would be terrible.
Yeah, take my hand out first.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Today, Peyton Thornton and his family are relocating to Minnesota.
Yeah, nice and clean.
Where the 5-year-old will undergo a bone marrow transplant to ease the pain caused by the fatal skin disease, EB.
It's a very big day. We're going to be away for at least 6 months.
Go help my baby get better. So I can take showers when I need and do all that fun stuff again.
Peyton's father, Reed, must stay behind to work for a couple more weeks in order to help pay for the procedure.
We can put some more toys in diet, and we can put some more toys in that, and then we can put some more toys in diet.
I don't know if we're going to take quite that many toys.
They're stealing a last few precious moments together.
4,
I like
5. Here's the motorcycle box. You want to get a couple motorcycles? I've been away for probably a week before. 2 weeks is going to be a little more than I'm used to, but I don't think it'll be the toughest thing we have to do.
In the most successful bone marrow transplants, the donors are family members. But until recently, no one in Peyton's family was a suitable match.
Yeah, I love his brother. Yes.
Baby Paxton is 8 months old, the product of embryo screening that ensured he'd be the perfect donor for Peyton.
All right. Once you have a sick child, then you do whatever you had to do to save your child. You ready to get out? You are creating a life, and the decisions were hard, but we want to be able to save our son's life.
The hope is that Paxton's healthy cells will kickstart the production of the protein in Peyton's body that holds skin together.
How much do you love Paxton?
What I got.
With all you got? I do too.
But the procedure is extremely dangerous. To prevent Peyton from rejecting his brother's cells, his body's defense system must first be wiped out by chemotherapy.
Back to the Xbox.
With no immune system, you're as close to dying as you possibly can be without actually dying, because there's no defense. It's like a war zone.
All right, then. Are we ready, Freddie?
Peyton will be only the 13th patient to receive this experimental treatment. Of those before him, 2 have not survived.
We have learned from every single patient. But it's complicated because it's so much on the edge of what is medically known and what is medically even manageable.
I know there is a chance. You know, I know there's a chance that he may not come home with me. I'll say, Peyton, are you scared? And he'll say, are you scared? And I'll say, yeah, I'm very scared. And he'll look up at me and he'll say, well, you're just not as tough as I am. Okay? I'll be good. I love you.
Love you too.
Mom's here.
5-year-old Peyton Thornton suffers from EB, a rare skin condition that could eventually lead to cancer.
Okay, sweetie. Little stink.
He's come to Minnesota for an experimental bone marrow transplant that could save his life.
When did this open? How recent?
This is just probably maybe a few days or a week at the most.
But first, doctors need to examine the extent of the damage that years of blistering have caused to Peyton's skin.
So what has bothered him the most?
His knees, and then usually back of the thighs, and then the tops of his arms.
I would estimate that 90% of his body is affected. That's incredible.
The consultant overseeing Peyton's care during the transplant is Dr. John Wagner.
He's very inflamed. None of the patients we have seen today is as inflamed as he is. He's as severe as they get, and you know, he's got these 3 infected sites: left ear, his right upper chest, and his right arm.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, he's one of the more affected kids that we've had in a bit.
That's right. There's a dynamism that's working against them. That something needs to be done soon.
Before the transplant can take place, Peyton's immune system must be completely destroyed.
Okay, come on.
To avoid any rejection of the donor's stem cells.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Come on in. Oh, Peyton, I love your hair.
A blood test must rule out any underlying infection that could kill Peyton once his own defenses are broken down.
There's going to be a little bit of a pinch, okay? But just a little one.
Just a little pinch.
Any sign of a virus, and the transplant will be called off.
Okay. No! Even though it's hard for me to hear him scream and cry when he has to get his blood work done, in the long run, it's going to be well worth it.
1, 2, 3. We're done, okay?
See?
You did it. Good job. See, we're all done.
The hope is that after treatment, Peyton's body will produce the missing protein that will stop his skin falling off.
Are you leaving?
He's like, I'm out of here.
In Guangzhou, Sun Chung is hoping for a treatment that will make his skin fall off, putting an end to the fish-like condition that has blighted his life for 22 years. His doctor has arranged for a visit to a group of patients he's already helped.
Until now, I've always avoided meeting strangers, but the people I'm going to meet have the same disease as me. I'm hoping I can make some new friends. I'm really looking forward to it.
Sun Chung dreams of getting married, but he's spent most of his life hiding away from the world. He's visiting the home of 23-year-old Pei Yi. She and her friend Li Mei have the same condition as him.
对，谢谢。
在那里，照那个位置打。
好的。
这是张医生帮你看了几年？
才来了1、2天吧。
我们看了5、6年。我以前差不多像你那样，以后你也会这样子。
行。
自己要有信心。对呀。
还来这之前，你的生活是不是受到了很大的影响呢？
当然啦，这同学老是在笑我，在欺负我。对我自己也是坐一个位置，离他们很远了。
我能体会到你说的这些，
干活来也有很大的信心。
你的朋友多吗？
一个。
不可能。
真的。
不会吧？你那么漂亮，还找不到？
那以后也是朋友啊，啊。
嗯。好，我也有。
我们以后可以经常聊天。
嗯，很好。见到他们的时候
Meeting the girls has given me a real boost. They are inspirations for me. I really hope I can be cured like them and have a better life.
Having had a taste of what his life might be, Sun Chung is desperate to be treated.
I hate the way people stare at me because of my disease. Maybe I'll be handsome one day.
Sun Chung's dream hinges on a course of powerful drugs, but any hidden medical problems, and his hopes will be crushed.
Oh, Pepe, look! Did you like that? The flamingo.
5-year-old Peyton Thornton was born with an agonizing condition called EB, which makes his skin blister and fall off. Following a series of medical checks, he's been given the go-ahead for a revolutionary bone marrow transplant that offers hope of a normal life.
See the one right there on the rock?
Oh, now I see it. What is that, Mimi?
That's a sea lion.
A sea lion? That's cool.
Peyton's baby brother will be donating the bone marrow stem cells, which could kickstart the production of a missing protein and repair Peyton's skin.
Oh, and I see giraffe. I just kind of want to take him to a place where he can have a good time because we don't do this very often.
Giraffe, here I come.
Peyton, you have to stay with Mama.
Whatever, lady.
When we start the transplant, he's not going to be able to go out in public. So I think for him to be able to have a good time before he starts the chemo is important. Come right here. Do you see him? He was taking him a bath. Maybe you can enjoy your bath like he enjoyed his bath one day. Would that be fun? Yeah. Come on, Pepe.
This is the best day ever.
All that now stands in the way of Peyton's treatment is his parents' consent. Transplant consultant John Wagner needs to make sure Joy is fully aware of the risks.
The main thing for now is for you to really understand what we're doing. We've got to knock off his own immune system. That makes him particularly prone to getting infections. Now you have to know, and we have to say this, he could die from this. 2 patients of the number we've done so far have not survived. Just know that some things can go wrong.
By giving their go-ahead, Joy and Reed could be risking their son's life. As Reed prepares to rejoin his family, it's almost too much to bear.
I'm scared. They say they're going to bring you as close to death as they can. Which for a kid like Peyton is probably not much further.
Sun Chung is having an ultrasound to check for underlying medical problems. A bad result, and the treatment for his skin disease will be called off. Sun Chung's thick scales are preventing the ultrasound from revealing what's beneath. Unless Dr. Jiang can get a reading, Sun Chung's treatment could be under threat.
I'm anxious about the results. This could have a huge impact on my life.
After 22 years living as Fishboy, Sun Chung is hoping for a future free of pain and prejudice.
我们再看一下检验结果。 就是查了你的这个肝肾功能检查，啊，没有任何不正常的东西，可以给你治疗。希望能有一个好的治疗过程。好，再见，再见，再见。帮我拿上。
他能帮我治。
Can Dr. Zhang really make me normal?
还是有一点。
I can't believe this is happening to me. It's amazing.
Peyton's parents have made the tortuous decision to give the go-ahead for his treatment.
So make sure you take my shoes off before you put me in the bed.
He's now 8 days into the chemotherapy, which has wiped out his immune system ahead of the bone marrow transplant. Right now, even a common cold could kill him.
He's going to be so vulnerable during this period of profound immune suppression. It's going to be touch and go, I would imagine, for a while. Peyton, look awfully serious today. We're just going to give the bone marrow tomorrow. When it first goes in, it can make him feel nauseated. It can also cause significant headaches. But I mean, when I say significant, it can be really significant headache. He's going to get worse before it gets better.
My wife and I have spoke about it several times, and even through the rough stuff, you know, we haven't had our doubts yet.
It's 5 a.m., and at the University of Minnesota Hospital, the Thornton family are facing the toughest day of their lives. 5-year-old Peyton is waiting for the bone marrow transplant, which could reverse the agonizing effects of his skin disease, EB. Before that can happen, his baby brother must undergo surgery.
Our patient is Paxton Thornton. We're doing a bone marrow harvest.
Paxton is providing the bone marrow cells that will be transfused into Peyton.
It's bad enough having one of my sons in the hospital, but to have both of them in the hospital at the same time is tough.
The hope is that Paxton's healthy cells will kickstart Peyton's body into creating the protein that will hold his skin together.
We will collect the bone marrow, which is inside of the bone, by making a small cut in the back of his spine.
For his parents, it's an agonizing wait.
We have to be very careful not to go through the bone and damage the structures inside of the pelvis. How goes it?
You tell me.
Beautiful. You know, he's as good as they get. He tolerated everything absolutely fine. There were no complications at all.
Thank you very much.
Are you happy? You are?
It's 3 hours since the bone marrow was extracted.
So Peyton Thornton, Thornton. Donor ID is Paxton Thornton. This bag represents a whole new life for Peyton.
Peyton is receiving his baby brother's cells through a line dripping slowly into his chest.
That's what you did. Look what you did. Yeah, show him. Say, look. Show him his blood.
It's a day for hope. But Peyton's body could still reject the new cells, and the new cells could reject him.
It's going to take months for us to even see if it has made a difference. But we're ready to just leave the old behind and start with the new.
The next few weeks will be critical to Peyton's survival.
Let Mommy take your picture. Give him sugar.
It's been 2 months since Sun Chung returned home from Guangzhou with medication that he hoped would improve his fish skin disease.
The changes are huge.
Before treatment began, Sun Chung's entire body was covered in thick layers of dark, scaly skin.
My cheeks now have pink skin on them. My ears have improved as well. All this skin fell off just last night.
Sun Chung used to spend most of his time hiding away from the world. Now he thinks nothing of stepping out in public.
I'm a different person. When I went out before, I hated it when people stared at me. Now I feel a lot more confident.
Sun Chung is still in regular contact with Pei Yi and Li Mei, the two girls he met in Guangzhou.
We really understand each other. It's lovely.
For the first time, the man they once called Fish Boy is optimistic about the future.
I now believe I'll be cured one day. I believe I can have everything that other people have.
Sun Chung must keep taking his medication in order to improve. But with every day that goes by, his skin is getting better. It's nearly a month since Peyton's life or death transplant. And he's already been released from the hospital.
Peyton's recovery is extraordinary. He's got to be the record for the fastest discharge after transplant.
It's too soon to predict Peyton's long-term prospects, but his prognosis looks good.
When we gave him his bath the other day, he barely cried. Was the bath a lot better for you yesterday? It was. Did it hurt?
The chemotherapy has made Peyton's hair fall out, but his skin is staying on.
Good hair. His skin hasn't looked this good in probably a couple of years. It's a huge difference already.
We gotta take a picture, take a picture.
Don't go too fast.
Hey.
We are moving in the right direction. It feels really good.
We gotta slide in. Big family right here. You'll sit in my lap? No.
Parker.
Look at the camera. Get your hand, get your fingers in.